Welcome, everyone, to the virtual Sunday service for the Journey Within Spiritualist Church. I'm Reverend Annette Hack, a minister with the Journey Within, and I'll be hosting today's service. We are blessed to have the Journey Within's pastor, Minister Joseph Shiel, to be with us today. So we're so thankful. He is a very compassionate minister and a highly acclaimed evidential medium and spiritual artist. He's world known for his integrity and his extraordinary ability to draw portraits, which he'll be doing today, of the departed loved ones. And it's through his creativity that he brings forth the love of God and the grace of Spirit to every discerning soul he meets. He is also an award-winning teacher. Most of all, we are blessed and grateful to have him as the pastor of the Journey Within Spiritualist Church. And it is our pleasure to welcome to the service today.
Thank you.
We begin our service with spiritual healing that is conducted virtually, as our healers are with us today. Now, if you would like to request healing for someone, please type their first name and the first initial of their last name into the chat box. Please don't include the person's last name. That's due to confidentiality. Now, if you wish, you may also add the names of your pets, the planets, or global circumstances. We'll open with a prayer, followed by a period of a quiet meditation. Now, if you'd like to participate in the healing, please quiet yourself, take a deep breath, and as you inhale, feel the boosting of your own immune system, working with the inner healer. Please join me in prayer. Father, Mother, God, healing of love and light, as we gather together today, may we radiate healing as a group with a power that is spreads throughout this earth, throughout the universe to each soul, and working with the ministry of angels and sharing healing with all those that are suffering, bringing those emotionally or spiritually or even physically, touching the souls of those that are in war-torn countries and those going through these natural disasters that occur, whether they be tornadoes or floods or hurricanes or earthquakes. No matter what country or space it occurs within, may they receive this peace and this healing going throughout them. And healing to those that may be alone with no one there, whether it be a human or whether it be an animal. Give the God of strength and power to all. And remember that to open your heart and be kinder, be gentler and more understanding with the healing to each person that passes our way. For we don't walk in their shoes, not now or ever. And may we take a moment to build our own spark for the healing within, to raise the flame that brings and eases that grief to yourself and to others. For you are just as important with the spirit within. And may we remember to spend healing to the planet, the animals, and all creation, opening our hearts and minds from one soul to another, sharing this healing to this beautiful world. For we know that the healing is there merely for the asking. Amen. As we come to the healing portion of our service, we pray for special healing for those names that are listed in the chat box, as well as those throughout the world who are experiencing the distress of hunger and illness, sadness, and loneliness or fear at this time. May you always remember that a healing light is more powerful than any darkness we may encounter. It touches one soul to another when we open our awareness to those in need. Remember, again, healing is there merely for the asking, for we place our trust in the love and the power of God. Amen. If you'd like to request healing for anyone during the course of the week, please email or call the church with their names and we'll forward them to healers who'll be praying for them for the days and the weeks and the months to come. And a special thank you to all of you healers. You're greatly appreciated for your time. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Reverend Annette Hack from the Journey Within Church, hosting today's service. And we are here today with Pastor Joe Shiel. We will open the service with song and prayer, and I'd like to invite Pastor Joe to lead us in the opening prayer.
Thank you, Annette. Good morning, everybody. Almighty God, the Spirit be down upon us, innocent through us in every way. We thank you for this time together today, how blessed we are to be together and have a time on this Memorial Weekend in the United States to think of all those around the world who have sacrificed the highest sacrifice of their own lives for the sake of others, the sake of freedoms. And we ask right now for all of us to think of our own lives. Think of where we are today throughout the world, the things that are happening all around us, within our own homes, within our own hearts. We as spiritualists are about life and living life to its fullest, living life with the world of intelligence, living life for sake of peace, understanding, harmony, and love. And as spiritualists, we come together this morning to send that healing to the world, to the madness, to the hurt and suffering, to all those marginalized, to all those confused, all those ignorant of greater things. We ask that we can be the lights that illuminate the truth of God's love and opportunity of life itself. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this time together. We thank you for each other. Amen.
I now invite Pastor Joe to provide today's address.
Thank you very much, Annette. Good morning, everybody, and I hope everyone is doing fine today. I want to tell you a story about when I was little. I was about 10 years old at the time. It was 1965. I came home from school one day, and my mother was still alive back then. I lost her at age 12, but she had just been diagnosed with cancer around that time. And I came in and she was sobbing at the kitchen table. And I mean, she was really crying hard. And I asked her what was wrong, and at first she couldn't even talk. She was so upset. And I asked her again. And she said, Bobby's gone. And I said, what do you mean Bobby's gone? And she said, Bobby's gone. He was killed in Vietnam. Willard Robert Ryan was my cousin. And one day he was in a village in Vietnam with the rest of his Green Beret guys that he had. And someone in the village sent a little girl into the middle of a group of them that was discussing what to do next as far as keeping control and moving forward. And the little girl had a hand grenade wrapped around her. And my cousin jumped on the girl, and both the little girl and my cousin were killed. That's a memory from Memorial Day. I screamed at my mother, and I used a derogatory term that I've been hearing on the news about those communists, those Vietnamese. And I used a derogatory term that I'm not going to use here, but I did then. And I screamed it out, those damn, And my mother screamed back at me. She said, don't say that. There are young boys and girls on both sides, on all sides, No one wins in war. And that's what she quoted me. And I heard that loud and clear, and I've held it in my heart ever since. I've lost a lot of friends in war, people I've known, two other cousins. I know of family members because we came from a military kind of family. My father, my uncles, my grandfathers, both. And when I look at that, I say, what's it all about? I'm so grateful today to be a spiritualist. I'm not of a religion of this world that wants to be right, that wants to be all heavy and all, we've got some corner on God. We've got some corralling of what peace is and do it, do it or else, that type of thing. We don't have that attitude anymore. We have a set of principles that lead us to living a life of spirit and a world of spirit, not delusionary, not susceptible to other people's dictatorship or other people's manipulation, but one of having personal responsibility for our own lives, of coming to love a God that has given us the freedom to make choices on our own, intelligent choices of what we do next, whether it be the war within our own hearts, whether it be the war within our families, whether it be the war within our neighborhoods or our world. We begin to see the world from a different paradigm, a different perspective as we work through the principles and become real within ourselves, come to know ourselves fully, come to know ourselves as responsible for others. That to be spiritualist means that we're to be of service to others, that we are kind of called to be greater than we could have been or would have been otherwise. We make choices based on being and acting in a moral way, in an ethical way, in a caring and loving and unconditional loving way towards others, in a way of compassion, understanding, patience, and tolerance. That's what our principles bring us to. They're not self-centered and selfish in a way that oh, look at me, I'm all spiritual and I know my stuff. Many people think spiritualists are all about the dead. Let's just remember the dead, bring them back again, have a conversation with them. Well, I think it's a good idea to have a conversation with them. I think it's a great idea to have the spirit world very closely connected to us. Because who better to ask, how would you have lived your life had you had a different choice? Had you had more insight into who you are and what you are now as spirit in the spirit world? And as we have conversations with them, we begin to grow in understanding. Our best teachers aren't walking around in shoe leather or teaching at some college. Our best teachers are in our hearts and minds and in our spirit connection that can show us a better way of living, a better way of understanding, a better way of caring for one another. Memorial Day for me is something that I probably tear up at every year of my life. I look at those days in Vietnam. 50,000, 55,000 young souls lost their lives on the US side, never mind the other sides. And then another 50,000 because of the horrors of war, because of the confusions of war, and because of the aspects of getting over that war, another 50,000 committed suicide. War never answers anything. It never succeeds. Nobody wins. Population may drop a bit, but where is it that said that we can't figure out a better way to live together, a better way to live forward, a better way to populate and be okay? Often people are lost for the sake of freedoms, for the sake of dictators, for the sake of land, for the sake of the few, the powerful, the wealthy. And those who lose their lives over that are the ones that have been convinced, forced, or manipulated. Here in the States, there are so many that have lost their lives for the sake of freedoms that we have adopted in our republic, in our democracy, so that we can make better choices, so that we do have a choice of who leads us and what goes on. We don't have a dictatorship. We don't have a way of having to do what we have to do. Do we have it all? No. Is it perfect? No way. It's far from it. Other countries have Memorial Days, usually because of genocide, Holocaust, and alike. Unsound, unthinking, lack of compassion, lack of respect for life itself. I don't know what religions they follow, nor do I want to look at it that closely, because obviously it fails. Spiritualism is our best understanding of religion as we go forward, as we become more intelligent, as we become more aware of the world, as we become more aware of ourselves and what we're made up of in our human fears and trepidations. As we grow through the principles of spiritualism, we come to know our soul, we come to know our spirit, and we see life from a different perspective. We see life from the eyes of God, not from the eyes of humans in competition, humans in power, humans in status, but as spirits, one and all, no matter what walk of life we come from, no matter what our experience has been. We come to know that we're here to love, we're here to respect, we're here to carry, to serve, to help those that are sick and suffering. All of us will sacrifice this life someday, some young, some old. It's a very short period of time from what Spirit can show us. In our communication with Spirit through mediumship, we're learning all the time how important it is to end the struggles, to release the resentments, to adopt forgiveness, to be of light, to illuminate the truth, to come to know, to find a peaceful solution. Spiritualism isn't some wacky side religion. It is the strongest promise for human survival because it tells us to serve each other, to love each other, one and all. I became a spiritualist because I saw it as the only hope right now for all of us to stop killing each other. It would be nice to have Memorial Day be some distant past memory of a generation to come, somewhere in the history books. Unfortunately, we're still in the midst of wars and crisis and genocides and madness. If you're a spiritualist or you're thinking of becoming one, remember that we're not here to find fault or trash other religions. We're here to honor this one. We're here to honor principles on our own, to take personal responsibility for our own understanding of spirit, our own souls, and that we step up and do the work we need to come to an understanding, to come to know ourselves deeply, to come to see the world through spiritual eyes, through the eyes of a higher source, a higher power, a better light. Memorial Day, as sad as it may be, is also a promise for the future. Because those that have gone before us to earn our freedoms, or to fight the fights and sacrifice their lives, are all there to teach us. Wouldn't it be better to just love each other? Wouldn't it be better to see the world as a promise of good and understanding and caring and healing? So today, I would ask that you take some time to remember all those now who are suffering without life after wars in the desert sands or in the jungles around the world or in the cities and explosions, pain, suffering, the families, the children, those left behind, those children that grow up without dads or without moms, those soldiers in the corners of doorways in Manhattan or LA or Chicago or Boston or Miami, drowning themselves away from horror and memories, dying a different death because of man's inhumanity to man, human beings' inhumanity to human beings. Spiritualism offers us a choice. It offers us a future. It offers us a way to look at life and become a light to illuminate the truth and carry forward with love in our hearts. Not fear, not danger, not horror, but compassion. What could you do today to not only respect and honor those that have gone before us to pave the way, those that have gone before us and sacrificed the highest sacrifice of their life, sometimes as very young people, to give us the freedom as a religion to even function in a society that is free to have a religion like ours, when there are many that don't. Yes, we should be grateful and full of gratitude, but also sadness for the loss of greatness, another soul. Once again, I mention spiritualism isn't about death. It's not about sorrow or pain or suffering or grief. It's about looking at the possibilities of honoring life and the lives to come, the children ahead of us. I do hope for peace. I do pray for peace. I do pray for intelligence. The world of spirit has that intelligence to offer us. So as spiritualists, we'll go forward and we'll keep talking to those who know, those who've been here and done this. probably screwed it up sometimes, but those that gave their best for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Joe, for those heartfelt thoughts and loving thoughts. Thank you. We now come time for our collection and announcements. You'll see a box on the screen for donations, and we appreciate any donations at this time. If you'd like to donate, you can click on this box or donate through our website or even send a check. We're grateful for all donations, great and small. The upcoming classes and events, we have fellowship after the service every week. Come for the camaraderie and the coffee and tea and some small desserts. Even bring some to share. We'd love to have you. Please consider becoming a member of our community because if you're not a member, we need you to check our website under announcements in inclement weather to see if our in-person service on Sunday morning is still being held. All members do receive an email with such announcements, but if you're not, please be sure to check that. So hey, become a member instead. You won't need to check. We'll send you an email. Some of the classes we have, the first and third Wednesday of the month, a community meditation with Eugenia Bushman. June 1st and June 29th, this is online, also was the community meditation, is Pandora's Box with Catherine and Mitch Shirley. On June 22nd is Exploring the Akashic Records with Kevin Tedeschi. Also on June 22nd, we have Love Intention and Connection with Lori Sheridan and the Natural Mediumship with Sandra Atheras. On June 29th, we have The Happy Medium with Moya O'Dwyer. That'd be great to see too. All those are online. Now, in person, on the first and third Sundays of each month, we have a mediumship development class, and it's for all levels. And our Pastor Joe and a guest tutor are there and teaching, and it starts at 12 p.m. and it's $20. And the next class is June 2nd. Put it on your calendar. On June 23rd at the Journey Within is a meeting of training and sessions for moderators of the Journey Within in-person services. If you are a current moderator, please attend the meeting. And if you'd like to become a moderator, please come and join us as well. That's June 23rd at noon. On September 5th, we have Where Two Worlds Meet with John Holland and Pastor Joe Shiel. And please register early for that because the next day, September 6th on Friday and September 7th, Saturday, is an in-person workshop with John Holland and Pastor Joe called Signs, Symbols, and Images. There's a special early bird pricing, so check it out. We're always updating our website with new classes and events, so please take a look for the most updated information there. As I said, we'd love to have you join us. We now move into our demonstration mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we believe in the continuity of life. And as the medium brings forth like a body of evidence of a deceased loved one, and you can take 90 to 100% of what's been said and not how you kind of want to make it fit, please, we'll ask you to raise your digital hand there. If a couple people could do that for me, yep, thank you. We want to make sure you can. And also important to know how to lower it as well. If not, I can still do that too. Thank you. Okay. Um, if you can take the first few pieces of the evidence, but you can't take the next pieces of the evidence, please lower your hand so we can find the recipient quickly. Now, if several people can take the information, it will be up to Pastor Joe, our medium, to discern the right recipient. Also, one more thing. If you're invited to speak, but you cannot unmute, I've had this occur before, not today, it's not going to happen, but just in case, if you cannot unmute or you're having difficulty, please type me in the chat box. I'll be sure to be checking that out as well and monitoring it. We'll now listen to a song in preparation for the demonstration, and we'll have a prayer. You're welcome to join me in the prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow. I'm the diamond glints on snow. I'm the sunlight on ripened grain. I'm the gentle autumn rain. When you waken in the morning's hush, I'm the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds, quiet birds in circled flight. I'm the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. I invite Pastor Joe to offer demonstration of mediumship.
Thank you, Annette. So if I'm going to draw pictures along with the information, and I would like you to listen to the information first and foremost. And the evidence there should be something that you recognize. Whether you recognize the picture or not yet, that's going to happen as the picture goes along, and hopefully you will recognize the picture as well. I could be talking about mom and end up drawing dad. That does happen once in a while. So pay attention to that as well. That if you do recognize the picture of somebody else. However, we try to give evidence of who it is, and if you can raise your hand, and that's going to help me because I can never catch that thing with the technical stuff here. So thank you so much. I guess I'm not. I I need work on that. What can I say? All right, so well, I'm going to switch the camera. This much I can do, which is really cool. Um, okay, so yes, and switch that. And then here, you're going to have to put your music on again later, Annette, okay? Okay, there we go. Just going to take that off of there. All right. So if everybody can hear me well, I'm just going to kind of get this here. I say a prayer before all my readings, and I'm going to say that now for everyone. Almighty God, Holy Spirit, be down upon us, innocent through us in every way. I thank you for bringing all these wonderful folks together today. I ask you to surround us with the white light of your love and to pierce our hearts and souls with that love. And as you do, I ask loved ones in spirit to be with us with all possible, especially those who are about the folks here this morning. And as you step in with me, ask me to use me in the way you wish, long as you do it, love, light, and respect. Please show yourselves to me. Help understand who you are, what you're like in life, what you did in life, and what happened to you. Any information you have for the folks here for their upliftment, the discernment of their well-being, their purpose, their path, their happiness and joy would be appreciated. And I ask this in the name of all that is holy, all the angels and saints, teachers, guides, loving prophets that have come before us to pave the way. And I ask this day for nothing but your highest and best, your peace, patience and tolerance, your insight and well-being, strength and fortitude, your love, your light, your truth. Amen. I have a gentleman here that is stepping in with me, and I do want to say he's he's a he's a good man. He's a solid man. I do think he had some struggles as a younger man, but I do think that he overcame those, and he was a great dad. He worked very hard in life. I do think he suffered some pains and losses in life that really kind of tore him up for a while. So I want to kind of mention that as he comes closer to me. If you were to understand him, you would understand a Frank or Francis in the family. So I just need to mention that. I also want you to know that he's the kind of guy that would have really given the shirt off his back for anybody. Um, he's got he's got some pain that has been in his life for a long time, and he kind of shows it, but he tries to smile his way through it and really be better at being kind and compassionate and listening to others. He could have been a great teacher as well because I think he did have some patience after a while. He wasn't so obstinate as he got a little older. He got a little bit less intense, if you will, and I want to make sure that you understand that as well. I also want to say to you that I do believe that he had some kind of blood disorder, like a leukemia or something like that. I do think it's going through him, and there's quite a bit of pain here as he shows me. I think he could have had more life. He's not super elderly. He's not up in his 90s. I do feel like he in his 70s, and I want to say 78 keeps coming to my mind. And I do think that he had some issues with that as well. So if you were to understand him, you would understand that he wore glasses. I'm putting those on him now. But he had to have those later on in life. I don't think he wore them all his life. Um, kind of needed them as he got older. His eyes just went to it as well. So um, he's a good man, and I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's going to show me the fact that he did have service. He was a military guy at one point in time, and he's not wearing the uniform now, but he just wants to show me the fact that he had that way about him. So I don't. Are there any hands up yet on that?
Yes, we have Susan.
Okay, so if I could just give me one moment here. Um, could you put the first person through just to speak to me so I can hear the sound of their voice?
Susan?
Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. How do you understand this so far? Which pieces make sense to you? Just repeat back to me what I've said to you so far.
In the 70s, military service, wore glasses, was softer in older age,
Hmm.
um, was a good teacher.
To lots of people, right? Not just to us, not just to students, but
Not just to his
to kids
family,
in the
but
neighborhood,
to,
just people he worked with and that type of thing, right?
yeah, yeah, he was a leader at work and also,
Yeah.
yeah.
Engineering kind of a mind, right? He knew how things worked and how to organize really well.
Mm-hmm,
Hmm.
he did.
And did you understand a Francis or Frank somewhere?
I do. That was his brother.
Okay. Thank you. Would you just stay with me for a moment, please? We'll just let
Okay.
the other one through. I think I'm with you though. So could I ask the other person for the sound of their voice, please?
Nope, there's only one, Joe.
Oh, only one. Okay, cool. Because I do think that the voice sounds really familiar. I just um want to talk. Do you understand the picture?
I do.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's in a hoodie. Yeah.
there you go. I I want to talk about the fact that he really enjoyed time with other people. He wasn't so recluse that he didn't enjoy family around, you know. He liked to have that. He wasn't so guarded, if you will, that way. He didn't mind telling stories of life, if you will. You
True.
understand that, right?
Yes.
He'd almost teach with parables, if you will, or stories of life, correct?
Yes.
And so he had an intelligence and even a philosophy that I think worked very well for uh, for life itself in all aspects, if you will. Little thinning on top, but he still had hair, which is kind of, I'm jealous, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I do think he smoked younger. I think he gave him up, but
He did. Right.
um,
When he went into the service, he
when
did.
he went into service, he was smoking those Camels and those other whatever they were, bags of cigarettes. Anyways, so I just want to say he gave it up because he knew it just didn't help his throat or anything like that. But
Right.
the the the, the blood disease, did you understand leukemia or some kind of a
He
cancer
had,
going through him? Hmm?
he was in kidney failure.
Okay. Yeah, it's like going through everything here.
Yeah,
So
it went
I
through
feel
every,
like it's really was an arduous and not also just very painful passing, but he's doing okay now, and he wants you to know that. Comes around you with a great deal of love, and love that's unshakable and unbreakable, and almost like a very protective way around you. You'd understand that too, right?
yes,
Yeah. And this is dad,
it's my husband.
husband. Ah, because he that protectiveness. I always have to kind of figure out if it's a brother, a husband, or son, but it comes to. Well, he's a good man, and I want you to know that I believe he's around you quite a bit, and that life is short, so live it well, and get out and do some things. Okay?
Okay.
He seems to want you to kind of don't just sit in the house, get out and do some things. So I guess he sees the fact that you still have ability to do that. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, he wants you to take advantage of that for sure. I feel he's a man of honor. He's a man of I trust him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's not a flim flam guy. He's not full of baloney. And
No.
he says, "You better straighten out my shirt or she'll get mad." I said, "Okay." I guess you had helped him dress.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I think he's around you quite a bit, and I want you to know that, okay?
Thank you.
And huh, why am I hearing 42nd, 42?
Um, don't really know.
April 2nd mean anything to you, or February 4th possibly?
Um, February 22nd is my birthday.
Okay. Trying to bring me to something around that, I think, okay? Um,
Okay.
but there's also something more important just even right now, almost like that he wants to kind of talk about a younger person as well, okay? So I just
Okay.
mentioned that he's kind of around somebody that needs a little guidance and a little help right now. And
Yeah,
he's
we were raising my grandson. I have my grandson.
okay. So that young guy is going to be kind of coming to you wondering why things are going. And I don't want to go Hollywood, but kind of like going bump in the night, if you will. He's, he's getting an influence or inspired, if you will. Okay.
He definitely
And,
is.
and is he into music?
Yes.
Okay. So he wants to encourage him, not to to kind of get him do what he loves and loves what he does, get into that and go further with it and use it as a way to get up and out and not so much as ego, but as giving back, if you will. Okay.
Okay.
Something about that. That you do music to give it back to the world, to bring that peace to the world. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Huh.
Hmm. Why do I keep getting railroads or path trains or something like a does
I-
that let me just work with that for a second. I keep
I-
seeing a locomotive, so I kind of want to go to the
oh,
um
he loved trains.
Lionel or Linux or something like that.
Yeah, and we have a train set of his,
Okay.
very old train set.
Might be a time to look into
Oh,
that one for your grandson, but two maybe even for the value of it. Okay.
okay.
He's trying to help. He knows things are tough, but he did he did leave a legacy behind, and he did leave a lot of love. A lot of people loved him. I think there was a lot of people at his memorials because I feel like people really knew him to be one of the good guys.
Yes,
Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. And did you choose a song on Eagle's Wings or something like that? Why am I hearing that song?
I don't know.
Would you maybe you should listen to that song. There's something in that song for you, I believe.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I'm just gonna suggest it because for some reason it's in my head and I know I'm talking to him, so I want to mention it. So you
Okay.
recognize him now and
I do.
okay. If you want this, just let us know and if you want to take a snapshot of that, let me just
Okay. I will do that.
thank you so much for taking the message.
Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
There you go. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. All right. So again, listen, and if you can recognize the information, please kind of tap in there, if you will. Um, Someone named Joe was talking to me because he said I got your name. So I'm just going to say somebody named Joe, and then I heard the name Joe. is talking to me, and what he wants me to do is bring in the picture of a woman who has passed, and I don't think this is all that long ago, but he has been in spirit for a while, and so she joins him. He's receiving her to the spirit world, and all is peaceful, all is well. I don't think she was well towards the end. I think she's been suffering for over 2 years, and finally gave into it. There's a bit of dementia, a bit of loss, but still new people, still was okay. We're not totally gone from what I can understand of what he's saying to me. She still recognized people around her, so that was quite well, but it was progressive, if you will. I also want us to talk about abdomen issues and possible liver and a liver issue and pancreas as well. So I'm going to just mention that. As she comes, he puts her face before me. She's quite lovely, and she would have had a little weight earlier on in life, and then she lost some weight, a lot of weight actually towards the end. But she was thinner and more stunning when she was younger, and then she gained a little weight in her face, but she still had that pretty face, if you will. She's still quite attractive, and she really. I'm just going to try to put her together here. If you were to understand a Joe in spirit that would greet this woman, I would appreciate that if you'd raise your hand about that, because that seems to be important. She's kind of got this little bump in her nose, not too radical, but I'm going to just kind of shorten that up a little bit here. Hold on.
I have two.
Hmm?
I have two so far. Karen
Okay.
and Sue.
So bear with me, okay? So I get her. She gets worse before it gets better. That's the problem. Okay. Um, if you were to understand her, you would also know that she was the kind of person that was her own person. She really would have had spunk. She would have been able to really speak her own mind. She didn't kind of she wasn't a follower. She was just more of a leader, if you will. She definitely respect a marriage, etc. But she really did have her own mind and speak the ability to speak up, if you will. So I want to mention that as well. Okay, and there's still two people there.
Yep.
Okay, so why don't I speak to one of them at a time, please?
Karen first.
Hi, Karen.
Hi there. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. How do you understand this, or which pieces do you understand so far?
It sounds like my mother, and the Joe person was her last, well, one of her last partners. But I've been wondering if he's in spirit or not. I can't find out. We don't know what happened, but um, we had to get her away from him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
You don't tell me anything more.
no,
just-
I'm not. Thank
but
you.
thank you. Okay. Um, are you recognizing the picture at all? It's not quite ready, but
I think I am.
okay. Thank you. So stay with me, okay?
Sure. Thank you.
And could the other person speak up, please?
Sue.
Hello,
And what's your name? I'm sorry.
Sue.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay. What pieces do you understand?
Everything.
And you're recognizing this woman, aren't you?
Somewhat, somewhat.
Yeah. Okay.
That's her.
And she would have had her hair a little shorter towards the end, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And do you recognize this as I work with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And she would have needed glasses off and on, at least for reading, okay?
Yeah, at times. At times. She
times,
didn't
not all the
always wear
time.
them, but she had them. Mhm.
Not all the time, okay. So Sue, I think I'm with you, and I want to thank the other person for working with me, but I recognize the sound of your voice, so if you'd work with me, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Mhm.
Okay, and thank you. Um, this is this woman, I believe, suffered sometimes from a little bit of blueness, if you will, a little bit of gloom, a little bit of, you know, struggle, if you will, on her
Yes.
own.
Yes.
And went in and out of those periods of depression, if you will. But she did have grace, and she did love her family. Um, but she was a worrywart on top of everything else. Okay.
Hmm.
And she says she wasted a lot of time worrying, and she doesn't want you to do that
Thank
now
you. Hmm.
either. Even though there's something, I suppose, that's worrying right now, and
Yes. Hmm.
another human being, another person, if you will.
Hmm.
And so she wants you not to worry, that she's got it. She's got it very much in control. There's all peace where they are now. This Joe or whoever he is,
Hmm.
obviously the doorway to reformation is never closed to the here or the hereafter. And it would be something that someone like him would do in order to build that reformation, is to work with her and accept her and kind of help her on the other side to come to the other side. You understand that?
I do. I do.
So we need to be forgiving of the human frailties and mistakes of people sometimes, and know that the love that sparked in the first place was something not of, maybe something selfish and self-centered at the time, but because he was a bit overwhelming, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um Almost, you know, let's put it this way, he's not acting as a friend, he's acting almost a user, if you will. Okay.
Yeah, I
He knows-
understand.
and he knows that now. Okay.
Hmm.
So he wants to now, is there a pendant or something you have, or like a
I I
little
I
pin or something here?
I have her jewelry. Yes, I have her jewelry.
It's like an angel pen or something, I just
I,
need to mention
I
it. So she did have faith, didn't she?
yes,
She's
she did.
believing that.
Yes, she did.
And
Hmm.
I kind of want to say, you have some junk jewelry, but you have a set of pearls.
Oh, yes. Hmm. Yes.
Okay. Because she liked to wear those. They looked good on her, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
And this is a little bit younger picture of her.
Yes. Hmm.
And she held herself together, but she did get a little bit more worn, if you will, and a little bit more uh lost a lot of weight towards the end, if you will.
Yes, she did.
And she was a little bit out of it, like she didn't always recognize the first person that came in the room. You understand that?
Yes, I do understand that. Hmm.
Okay. So I want you to know she recognizes everybody now, and she wants to be a part of people's lives. And although she didn't always, um, at times she was obstinate, she wouldn't listen to you. Do you
She
understand that?
she had her own mind. Yes, she had her own mind.
Yeah, she definitely would have, uh, you know, kind of did her own thing, if you will, at times, you know. I want to. Now, she worked outside of the home as well.
Oh, yes. Definitely. Yes. Hmm.
Was there an office job, but like she worked for a Robert for a while, a Bob?
It could have been one of the people she worked with. Yes. Hmm.
And I think she tried to hold herself quite well.
Yes, she did.
Her eyes are intense, I gotta say. Jeez.
Yeah. Yes.
You
Hmm.
see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just
Hmm.
intense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do think that she has, her personality comes out in the picture. You do recognize that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. I know that she's around you. She's been trying to get your attention. She's using the typical symbols and signs to get you, like the you know the cardinals and that type of thing. And but she would like to set up a sign with you that's specific to you. Okay.
Okay.
And so I would do that with her if I would you. I'd sit in the quiet, listen
Okay.
with everything you are, and at the last resort hear words. Okay.
Right.
And and see if you can kind of communicate with her.
Mhm.
Okay.
I will.
because, and then give her a sign.
I will.
What was the, I keep getting this angel down here, but I want to say butterflies are like all over the place.
Okay.
Why is that?
Uh,
Is that something significant, or is it just
I have
running away with me?
I always have butterfly jewelry, but I'm gonna
Okay.
try to remember something specific maybe.
Maybe hold on to a piece of that butterfly jewelry,
Okay.
almost a psychometry thing, when
Okay.
you're sitting listening to her, okay?
Yes, that's a good
And
idea.
see if you can feel her energy with you. She loved to do her hair different ways, and she had it colored now and then.
Yes.
And she'd like to put a little auburn or red in there once in a while.
Well, that's more me than her.
Oh, really? That's you? Okay. That's funny because she's talked about red hair. Okay. Well, God bless her.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna just kind of put this little flower here, this little earring on her.
Yep. Hmm.
And
And may I just say something, Reverend Joe?
yes, please do.
We're not supposed to give information, but I think it's important because it's Memorial Day weekend. Um, she was a World War II Army nurse. She was a veteran.
She was okay.
Yeah. So
She's coming through. She looks like she has that about her, you
yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Remiss not to say it, but thank you for mentioning that, and we do appreciate her service for sure.
Thank you.
God bless her. Yeah, she's holding herself almost like she's looking at me now, like I'm supposed to salute.
Yes. She was a first lieutenant, so yes.
Ah, there we go. She's okay. That's why. Got a good rank. All right.
Yes.
Good for her. Good for her. Well, thank you for her service. That's for sure. Wow, she's a character. That's for sure.
Yes.
She didn't waste words. She said it like it is,
That's the truth. Yes.
you're right out. You know.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna wish her peace, and I'm gonna keep you in my prayers as well.
Thank you so much.
Peace be yours today on this day, and I'm glad we could have her on this Memorial Day. You know, she healed a lot of people's hearts in,
Yes.
in her activities. So I want to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There we go. So do you want to take a picture of that?
Yes, I will. I am now.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Got it. Thank you.
All right. God bless you, and thank you so much for allowing me to serve today. I
You too.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you very much.
Some kind of alarm gone off. All right. I'm going to give you back your camera here.
Right?
Your songs.
And as
There
you
you
do
go.
that, thank you for those beautiful
Thank you.
messages. So precious. This concludes the demonstration of the spirit communication. And I thank all of you for attending the service. And especially thank you, Pastor Joseph Shiel, for being with us today and being with us at the church and just being with us. We end the service with prayer and song, and I invite Pastor Joe to lead us in the closing prayer.
God, spirit world, we thank you for continuing to educate us, to illuminate the truth around us, to help us to live more significant lives, to make more of each day, to consider every moment we have as precious, to hold those who have gone before us, our family members and friends, and those that we've known, and harbor them within our own souls, connect with them all the time in fond memories and in times of learning. We thank you for this beautiful day together. We wish each other well, and we send healing to all those who are still suffering in mind, body, spirit, emotions. May you be lifted. May you be given the light to see a path of true happiness. Amen.
May you all have a wonderful week and hope to see you again. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.